Welcome to Channeling Jesus 28-Day Consciousness Shift. So today we are going to talk about whatever it is that Jesus wants to talk about. That's pretty much the thing. But what is really much alive is usually what I start with. And so what I feel is that when we are going up in frequency like this, it is very important that we remember the body. The body is its own energy. The body it's so necessary when we go up in frequency that we remember the body. Because the body doesn't have the same experience as we have necessarily. And for us to really truly rise in frequency, we need to have the body with us. We can't forget that. And for us to have the body with us, we need to know how to communicate with the body. And that is basically how well are we treating this precious body. Because there are many things that we've been taught. For example, if we feel a certain negative sensation, what this body used to do was to eat, to stuff down the feeling of the body. And that is neglect. Stuffing down the emotions of the body, which is my relationship to the feminine. Not because I'm masculine, but because I'm the soul. And so, the way we really master this game is that we learn to really, first of all, distinguish between these two aspects within ourselves and within our energy field. Because in energy, there are two different energies. The body has its own consciousness, and then the soul. And so the soul can go. That's the reason why masculine quality, or men in general, are usually very go-getter. They just, anything is possible. Because usually they control the body. That's what we're seeing a lot of. There's a lot of masculine control over the body. I've mastered the body because I control it. That is actually a very dualistic way of looking at this. So this is not something that you will attain mastery through if you have that perception. So if you have, I'm angling it like this because the wind comes this way, so I'm trying to maneuver this a little bit. So if you have that viewpoint, you are energetically toward it, actually. So you are going to be in the dualistic perspective. This is the reason why men get with women. They might not understand them and all of that stuff. Like, that's this whole dance. That's that reflected outward in what people see. And that's just what the inside is reflecting. And so and the only way to really properly heal this is to look after yourself. Your body, as if it is someone else. Because many have been taught to neglect themselves and just focus out there, take care of everyone else. That's what the feminine has been taught. Just ignore what I'm feeling, I just need to look after the masculine. That has been the case for many centuries. But now, we have other more complex versions of the masculine and the feminine. And which is why this knowledge of where it stems from, the masculine being the soul and the body being the feminine, as two energies, that's how it stems, and that's the way to work with in order to get back into harmony. Because you can devise and go into duality for as long as you want. It's an endless game. But right now, we are on our way back. We are on our way to remember. That is what the energy is supporting us doing. And so it's very smart to follow the energy, the path of least resistance, which is to go with where Gaia is heading. Gaia is the planet we're all connected to. And Gaia is moving up in frequency, which means integration. That means that she's taken all that she's learned, and then you can hear her. She's moving the wind. There is a consciousness moving the wind. You can think that it's all coincidental, and you can put like all these logical terminologies that people have labeled so that they're able to think into, oh no, this is the north wind that produces heat from this and from that. And you can go all logical on everything that people have figured out. And you wouldn't be lying, because that is what people have figured out. But there is a force that is moving all of that. And that is this world that we want you to pay more attention to, because that's where you can find the truth of things. And this is what we are calling the energetic truth, which is what the body senses for accuracy, really. And for that, we need to have our bodies with us. We need that feedback system in order to determine and do anything here. And that is the reason why when the body feels off, for whatever reason, the correct response, if you cared about your body, would be, hey, first of all, recognize that something is off. And you recognize that through feeling what the body is going through. This is what many men have projected onto their partner, their female partner. And so their female partner is the one feeling, and the masculine part is just the one doing. That is when that is split, which most couples do that. It takes a lot of focus and effort if you want to actually do something different. Because the mind and the ego is very clever at coming up with stories of how you're not part of that energy. But that's where you have to go really, truly being truthful about what the body's experience is. Right? And so being connected to the body is the first step, and recognize when there is something off. And then make room, make space for the body. Stop what you're doing. It's not going to work anyway, not as good, because your body is not with you. And that means that there's something interfering here. That's what your body is trying to tell you. That's the notification. This is your sophisticated HI system. Or maybe this is the BI system, the body information. Higher intelligence is more that information. So this is more the electromagnetic field that you're reading. But for that, you have to be in it and actually use the senses. Most beings have been caught in the mind of what things are, that they've forgotten that they can actually feel. Like, I know, for me, this almost sounds comical now, but I used to be there. I totally get it. But now it almost seems comical. Because, I mean, of course, we have different senses, we have to use those senses. But in this today's society, with the smartphones, and everyone is getting just into this world that is not true. It's just built up of many different angles of reality that is not accurate, and it towards the perception of the energy inside of a person with those beliefs, that they then again create a reality that looks to be that this is reality and what it is, but it's not. That's what we have to change. And for that, you have to change the way you look at the world. And for that, is what this is all about. I didn't know. I think I lost a little bit of where they were heading, and so I just completed something that. So there are these micro. If you start to get attuned to the way that I am bringing through this information, because you can, then you will sense that, yeah, what he said was accurate, because you can feel the resonance, because your body can feel the resonance, you know? That's why we need the body with us. Hey, what's going on, buddy? You have that. Oh, is that what you believe? But then we, as the masculine, can then, once we get the feedback, we have to ask the body, right? So you first notice that you are not the body, so that you don't identify with the body, so that you know that you are the I am, this is actually your responsibility, right? So you have to get that. That has to be repeated so that you get that. And then the next step is that you actually make space, stop what you're doing, make space, and then ask what's up. And you have to want to know the answer. If you're just asking because you heard it here and you're just doing it because, well, let me just try that. But if you don't really fully mean it, your body can tell. You know? It's like telling a kid, you know, they're not going to believe you unless you're truthful. They're going to feel that something is off. At least the kids nowadays. Because what happens is that whenever there is evolution of consciousness, the kids that's coming in, they are more advanced coming in. Always. Sometimes some beings are more advanced than others, but that depends on their soul's level of consciousness. But the kids are always more spiritually advanced. They actually come to help the parents. So if you look at the energy correctly, you will be able to tell, and you will be able to pick up what it is that being is highlighting in you. What is the buttons that it's pushing? Those are the things that needs harmonizing also. So a kid is a wonderful way to grow in consciousness if you know how to look. It's a wonderful way. Yes, it is the parent's job to make sure that the child is looked after and it's taught the right things so that it has a good foundation in this world. But it's not the parent's job to dictate what the kid should do or not. It's just like the parent's job to support whatever it wants to be. You don't look at a flower, like a rose flower, and you just say, hey, I want you to be pink. No, I want you to be, I don't know, yellow with orange stripes. I don't know. I hope that doesn't exist in Flowerland, but maybe it does. But just as an example, that rose has a particular signature. And the best thing you can do is to let that being show you what it is. Right? And for that, we have to pay attention. But for that, we have to be embodied, because we have to feel our bodies. Because we can't read the other person without feeling our bodies. And so the way you treat yourself is the way that you will eventually treat others. It's a very good way to... It is the only way to fully look at reality as truth. Because you need to be able to tell the truth, and you need to be able to read what's going on here in order to tell the truth, and in order to receive if something is true or not. So we need this body in this experience. And that is the game. Yes, we're all one. But we are not in that reality. People that want that reality, they are usually seeking something on the outside still, not knowing exactly what it is, but thinking that it's some kind of concept that they're seeking on the outside. Usually. But the correct thing is to comprehend the energy so that you actually go here and you start to harmonize and know the different energies. And you have to have your body with you. Feeling what's going on. And then you can start to correct. Because if the body is feeling off, okay, what's going on? There's a misperception here. My body feels like this because of this. I see. So, for example, the body wants to see people, or it wants to do something else. It's eager to. It wants to just do something fun. Fun, for example, let's just talk about that for a moment. That can be the body's and your learned behavior, your learned masculine part of the body, to what you've learned from the past, which is to just, hey, do you want this? What about this? If the baby is crying, do you want this? This is the same energy. And we grow up doing this to ourselves unless we catch ourselves and actually change it. Right? So it's very common. I catch this for this being as well. Like, what? I lost it there a little bit. I sometimes get a little bit caught in the do I say I, do I say me, do I say we, do I say you know? And it's very interesting. I just want to explain this because it's very much me thinking about how it's presented so that people get and can actually comprehend how this works, right? And so actually looking at it like this, it's it's important to just be aware. Hang on a second. A little bit thirsty here. I feel that I lost a little bit of the main thread, and then I got into a few other ones, so I'm just going to get back into it. And this is part of it. This recognizing that, oh yeah, now there was some interference, recognizing the truth of the body, there was some interference. And the right thing is that, yeah, we tried to get back to it, but now we're going back to it, you know? So it's like I'm sharing these things, but these are the things that I'm putting words to them so that you can start to pay attention to what energy is doing. So, you see? This is how you start to relearn energy. And it's also interesting, I want to just make sure that this is said as well. When there's inner resistance, there's usually also outer resistance. So there was something happening inside and outside at the same time here. Right? So I want you to see that as well. So this is a perfect system if we just know what to look for. And if we just know how, oh yeah, that was related to this. And when you start to get enough of these evidence, you start to realize that, that makes sense. Wow, I hadn't seen that before. And then we are making the body more aware. The body needs to see a different reality, that something else is possible for it to know what to step into. That's why role models are so good. To have a role model for something that you want, something that you want to attain. So looking after the body is so key. And get the body with you. You can't ascend without the body. The whole point of ascension, a lot of movements here. The whole point of ascension is that you're taking your body up in frequency. You don't need to go up in frequency. You are up in frequency. The whole point of this game is that you direct it, but then you have to take the body with you. That's the game. That is the resurrection. It's that continuously until that becomes a habit, so that everything that you're doing in your life is just lifting the body up in frequency. So you have comprehended everything that you need to in order to anchor and to elevate in frequency, so that you know when there is disturbance and you know what to do with it. in order to alchemize, harmonize, and elevate in frequency. That is the game. That is how you create a different reality. That is how you totally shift your reality from the inside out. But you have to go in there, in the operating system, and from the inside out, you birth yourself new. You birth who you are from the inside out. You just have to make sure that you're making room for yourself to grow into who you truly are. This magnificent light, spark of light that's here to shine. Thank you for listening. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Ciao.